was the safest bet of the weekend, Brighton to beat Chelsea. I mean, it was obvious it was going to happen. I just think it's the way that they're playing. I mean, honestly, they are so... If you look at the actual stats about how many points Tuchel earned at Chelsea, if you take those away, Chelsea are definitely relegated this season. The way they've been playing since Tuchel left, they would have been relegated.
I love the way you were saying to us earlier on, you're looking at the teams below you, what you're worried.
No, I know. At one point, I've written down they're going to have to fire Frank and bring in Big Sam to keep us up. Honestly, it's absolutely...
Yes.
The home game against Forest could be the biggest game in the club's history. I mean, they need
Andy,
a point.
You're getting hysterical.
But the whole thing of it, it's just... I mean, I loved Frank Lampard as a player and I like him as a man. He's a great bloke. But, I mean, he's just... I don't think he's much of a coach. He's made us much, much worse. I mean, there's no question about that. Finally on Chelsea, I mean, talk about squandering 20 years' work in a season. Congratulations.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like it's irretrievable.
They've got one window to sort it. If they don't sort it in the next window, if they don't get the managerial appointment right, they don't get a proper striker, and they don't trim the squad by at least 7 players, they're going to be in big trouble.
All things you would expect them to do.
Well, they should do it, but we'll see what happens.
Chelsea 1, Brighton 2. Danny Kelly's with us. Andy, just very quickly, just give a précis of what went on.
Well, 2 things really. My thoughts of this game: that if the new owners had done absolutely nothing, bought nobody, but left apart from the ones that had to go, I don't think they'd have been any worse off. And now they've spent 600 million. They're going to have to sell some of our best young players to finance it, so they're not in trouble with financial fair play. And I just think, I tell you what says everything about Chelsea at the moment. Mudryk had his best game for Chelsea. He played really well. He looked really good. Why? Ask yourself why he did. Because De Zerbi, who used to be his manager, was standing on the sideline. And he wanted to show him that he actually hasn't wasted his time, blah, blah, blah. So it shows you that when he wants to, because of that, he can do it. The rest of the time, he might as well not have been there. And that is the problem with Chelsea. I mean, João Felix, I call him How Felix. How's he actually playing for us? I've never seen
Felix.
Oh, I'm not calling him that. There was a stat about Eze, very interesting. We'll come on to Eze again. It was brilliant. But about dribbles, the most dribbles since the World Cup. And Eze's tried 18 and 15 completed. Felix has tried 20, 12 of which have been successful. That's probably 8 goals conceded, like on Saturday. He did that against Leicester. He did that against... I mean, that was ridiculous.
I wouldn't have picked him after his performance in Madrid. I simply wouldn't have picked him for the next game.
I wouldn't have picked him ever again.
No,
I mean,
that was one of the late. I mean, I know he's in a city where he's got other priorities and all the rest of it. That was one of the laziest performances I think I've seen in a long, long time from a professional footballer. And I thought about the game at Stamford Bridge, and we've got a lot of games to get through here. Chelsea were lucky. Chelsea were lucky that Evan Ferguson got injured because Brighton
not really, because Welbeck always scores against Chelsea.
but Brighton had 26 shots at goal.
It should have been
if
about
Evan Ferguson had a percentage of those,
26.
it'd have been. From what I know about the lad, it would be. They were the home team. I thought, Andy, you can put me right here. I thought domestically that was their least convincing performance of the season, and that's saying something.
They've got much, much worse under Frank Lampard. Before, under Potter, they were a little bit unfortunate. They were suffering because they didn't have a striker. But you see their goals against record is really good. They were defending well and creating a lot of chances, but not putting them away. Under Frank Lampard, they're not doing anything. They're not defending well. They're not creating anything.
I thought they were bad,
it was a mad decision to fire Potter at that point. You either fired him back in January or whenever it was a real disaster, or in February, or you kept him until after the Madrid games and after the season.
I remember you leading the charge, saying, keep him on, keep him on.
Every single thing these people have done has been a disaster.